Come on down into constructive rest pose to begin. Lying on your back, knees bent, feet in line with the sit bones. Broaden your shoulder blades, arms wider than the mat, palms turned up. Lengthen the back of the neck. Feel your chin drawing down towards the notch of the neck. Use some support behind your head if that helps you to have the chin drawn down. Make sure the neck is comfortable. Take a moment to settle down into this position, letting the body sink down into the pull of gravity. Feel the bottoms of your feet. Notice the ball of the big toe, the ball of the little toe, the middle of the heel. Each one of those 3 points connecting down into the floor equally. Relax your toes. Bring your attention up to the back of the pelvis. Let your tailbone sink down. Imagine your back pocket spreading wide so the sacrum softens. Feel the contact of the shoulder blades. Notice that they're broad and flat, and adjust the shoulders if necessary. If they've relaxed a little bit and will give you some more space, take it. Relax the belly. Drop your attention down to the spine and notice the natural curves of the spine. Tailbone and sacrum in touch with the floor, and then there's probably some space as you move up the lumbar. And then notice again where the spine in the mid-back begins to find contact with the mat. Moving up the thoracic, pretty strong, continuous contact, and then up to the cervical, to the neck, little space again. Soften the hips and the shoulders. And then we'll prepare for some inner core engagements, isolating the pelvic floor and the transversus abdominis. Bringing your attention down to the pelvic floor first, picturing the diamond that's formed by the 4 bony landmarks that anchor the sling of the pelvic floor. Notice where your tailbone is, each one of your sit bones, the pubic bone. Picture that diamond in your mind's eye, and inhale. And with the exhale, pull all those 4 points in towards the perineum. And then soften and relax. And as you relax that, let the back pocket spread, the belly soften. Check that the neck and shoulders are still easy. And again, inhale, picture the diamond of the pelvic floor. And exhale, gather the 4 points into the center. This time add a little squeeze in each one of the sphincters. And then relax that. And as you relax, soften in the hips, the buttocks, let the back pocket spread. Stay easeful in the upper body. One more time. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, gather the diamond into the center, squeeze the sphincters, and then lift the perineum towards the crown of the head. Think it's sliding up the body. And maintain that while you take a breath. And then relax completely, soften to gravity again. Notice that that engagement does not force the pelvis to do any movement. It's just a movement within the neutral pelvis. And now we'll bring our attention to the transversus abdominis. This is the big horizontal abdominal series of muscles. Think of it coming all the way around from the spine, around the waist, like a belt. Think Think of the belt being elastic so that it snugs around you really well the whole way. Inhale, prepare. And exhale, find that big, broad, horizontal band of support and gather it around like a hip hugger belt and buckle it beneath the belly button. And then relax with the inhale. This engagement, too, does not cause any specific movement, so we're going to keep neutral. Inhale, prepare again, and exhale, gather the belt around, keeping your neutral spine, your neutral pelvis. Feel that horizontal pull across the hip joints. And then relax with the inhale. Soften it completely. Try to make sure you're not engaging the buttocks or the shoulders or the face. Inhale, prepare. And exhale, gather the belt around. And buckle it beneath the belly button. And this time maintain that while you take a breath in. And renew it while you take a breath out. And then relax completely. And we'll bring the arms closer to the sides. Try having your palms facing each other. This allows your shoulders to stay in their external rotation and a little bit easier movement in the joint. So palms are going to face each other. We're going to use the whole inner core, the combination of the pelvic floor and the transversus, to anchor the neutral spine and pelvis. So you can be easy in the arms for now. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. The palms are facing each other. Exhale, engage the pelvic floor and pull that belt snug as you reach your arms back behind you. Bend the elbows if you like for now. Keep the neutral lower back. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, lower the arms back down to the sides. Easy movement in the shoulders. Inhale, arms float up, palms facing. Exhale, anchor with the inner core, reach the arms back, keep your neutral lower back and pelvis, and inhale, float the arms up. Think of the humeral head sinking down into the sockets as the hands come up, and then exhale, the arms relax down, the abdominal effort ceases, just relaxing in neutral. One more time. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, stabilize with the inner core and reach back. And inhale, float the arms up. And relax the arms down to the sides. Let everything soften. You're in your neutral position. Take a moment to give into gravity again. And we'll bring the hands behind the head. Interlace the fingers, trying to activate the obliques. As you take your inhale, notice your ribs opening out wide and pulling away from the mat. So there's an expansion and a little bit of extension in the spine. With your exhale, let's focus on your front ribs and pull the front ribs together and reach them down on a diagonal to the opposite back pocket. And then inhale, this time focus on your back ribs. Notice how they're pulling away from the mat a little bit. And exhale, imprint the back ribs down into the mat. Not flattening the lower back, just imprinting the back ribs. Inhale, let the front ribs flare. Elbows out nice and wide. And exhale, unflare the front ribs, reach them on a diagonal down to the opposite back pockets. And inhale, flare the ribs and notice the back ribs pulling a little bit away from the mat. With the exhale, imprint the back ribs down into the mat. Please keep your neutral lower back. And inhale, let the ribs flare. We're going to combine them. Exhale, unflare the front ribs, imprint the back ribs. And then maintain that while you inhale. The inhale might be really high up in your chest, under your collarbones. And renew it with your exhale. Reach the ribs down on the diagonal, imprint the back ribs. And then let them flare and relax with your inhale. And we're going to add the inner core and do some head lifts. Exhale, pelvic floor transversus, and imprint and lift the head, staying in neutral. And inhale, lower down. As you stay in neutral, be aware that we're not forming to use the hip flexors, so we want to keep the ease at the front of the hips. Exhale again, inner core, knit and imprint, and lift the head. Neutral lower back, easy in the front of the hips, and inhale, lower back down. Let the ribs flare, you're still in your neutral spine. One more time. Exhale, inner core, knit and imprint, and lift the head. And stay. While you inhale for the crazy fish, exhale, side bend to the left side. Bring the left elbow towards the left hip. Inhale back into center. And exhale, the right elbow down to the right hip. Inhale back to center. Keep the breastbone facing up. Exhale, side bend to the left. And inhale, center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Keep the breastbone facing the ceiling. Inhale, center. One more time to the left. And inhale, center. And last time to the right. Inhale, center. And lower your head. Bring your arms down to your sides. Let everything relax. Okay, let's take the arms up to the ceiling. Drop the shoulders down. Humeral head's really well seated down into the shoulder sockets. Notice that this is actually a relaxed, neutral position for the arms. So we're going to float the arms up, but keep the shoulders nice and easy as we stabilize the pelvis and do our alternate leg lifts. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, find the inner core, knit and imprint the ribs. Keep the pelvis absolutely still as you float the right foot up off of the mat. And lower back down. Continue to stabilize in around the pelvic girdle and stay easeful in the shoulder girdle. Inhale the left foot up and lower back down. Keep anchoring and softening the shoulders. Engage, easy in the shoulders. Lift the right leg and lower it back down. Keep the pelvis really still, no rocking on the tailbone. And up with the left. Back ribs will stay imprinted the whole time. Easy in the shoulders. One last time for each leg. Keeping the neutral spine, the steady pelvis. And lower back down. Relax in the lower body. Stretch your fingertips up to the ceiling. And then drop the shoulders down. Let the humeral head sink down into the sockets. Relax in the shoulder sockets. And lift up again. Fingers reaching to the ceiling. And settle the shoulders down. Settle the humeral heads down into the shoulder sockets. Once again. Reach up. And relax. Make some very small circles with your arms. Just thinking of the humeral heads rolling around the socket and increasing their contact with the socket as they do this roll motion. Making a circle about a grapefruit size, no bigger. And then reverse. Very easy. This is not a stretch. It's a settling of the arms down into the sockets. And then lower the hands down to the sides. Now we are going to stretch the shoulders and work the upper back, scaption. Make a fist. Stick your thumb out like you're hitchhiking. Make your arms perfectly straight. Begin by preparing your inner core, knitting and imprinting the ribs, and then reach the arms up to the ceiling. Notice the elbows and wrists. Keep them really straight. Re-engage around your ribs. Pull your shoulder blades down your back and start to reach back with your arms. Do not bend the elbows. Even if you don't touch the mat, keep your arms straight and keep your back ribs in contact with the mat. And float the arms up. And lower back down. We do have the neutral spine in the lower back staying in place, and we're going to keep imprinting the whole time. If your thumbs didn't touch the floor, keep them sticking out. If they did, curl them inside the fist and raise the arms again. Straight wrists, straight elbows, inner core, ribs knitting and imprinting. Especially pay attention to those imprinting ribs and pull your shoulder blades down into your back pockets. Keep the arms straight. Notice if the fist gets down to the floor. Don't bend your arm in order to get it there. And then float back up. And lower back down. So you might still have your thumb sticking out. If you haven't touched the floor with the thumb sticking out yet, keep it sticking out. You can stay at this point. If you've touched the floor with the thumb curled in, flatten the palms down onto the mat. This requires the most shoulder flexibility. And reach up. Straight elbows, straight wrists, straight fingers. Engage the inner core, knit and imprint, and reach back. Don't try to touch the floor. See what happens. Keep your back ribs down. Keep your arms straight. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. And then you can see if you touch the floor. But don't sacrifice any of the straightness of the arm or the imprinting of the ribs to get there. Then float the arms back up. And we're going to pause a moment with the arms vertical. Let everything relax. It's a pretty intense stretch. And we're going to bring the hands behind the head again. Open the elbows out wide. Inhale, prepare for the inner core, the knit and the imprint of the ribs, and exhale, engage and lift the head. Now stay there and inhale, and exhale, lift the left knee, and then raise your right shoulder over towards the knee. Inhale, lower your foot, bring the head back into the center. You're not lowering all the way down to the floor. Re-anchor and exhale, lift. Right foot and reach your left armpit over towards it. We're not getting anywhere near touching. Inhale back into the center with the head. Lower the foot down to the floor. Exhale. Stabilize. Lift the left foot. Reach your right shoulder over towards your left foot. Keep a stable pelvis. Lower down. And anchor and take the other diagonal. Keep the pelvis still. Reach across with the armpit. Lift the breastbone. Keep the back ribs imprinting. Lower the foot. Bring the head back into the center. One more time each direction. Turn the shoulder girdle all in one piece. And last time with the right foot. Reaching the left shoulder over, but don't keep your shoulder girdle all in one piece, and then lower the head back down, and relax your arms wide at the sides, turn the palms up, let everything soften. I'm going to bring the arms up into vertical again, soften the shoulders, reconnect with the inner core. Knit and imprint. Keep the pelvis and the ribs nice and steady. Lift the right foot up. Imprint and bring the left foot up to join it. Keep a right angle behind the knee. Keep the shoulders relaxed as we go into pistons. Maintain your neutral spine. Exhale. Lower one foot down. Tap the toe and lift back up. And exhale the other side. Stay easy in the shoulders. Concentrate on those back ribs. Keep them down. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, only one leg at a time. Inhale up, take it slow. It's actually harder if you go slow. If the legs kind of alternate and pass midstream, they're balancing each other out. This way you're really having to use your abdominals to work the balance, to keep the steadiness. Keep relaxing the shoulders. And one hand to each knee. Do the hip circles, flop the legs out wide. Be sure you got them floppy, and then start stirring them around. Easy in the hip joint. Relax the inner thighs, relax the hip flexors in the hip crease, and reverse. And give the knees a little hug into the chest, lengthen the back of the neck. Gently press the back of the head down as you stretch the lower back. And then relax that. Return to your neutral tabletop. Take the arms up to the ceiling. Re-engage the inner core. Knit and imprint the ribs. Lower the right foot. Be sure you're imprinting this time. Keep the right foot down. Bring the left foot down to join it. Pause. Reset the inner core and the knit and the imprint. Float the left foot up, imprint, bring the right foot up, and then bring your hands down to your sides, preparing for the 100. As you exhale, re-engage your inner core, knit and imprint the ribs again. Press your palms down into the mat. Feel the backs of the arms, lift the head, keep your neutral spine. Extend the legs if you like, and exhale for 5 pulses, and inhale for 5 pulses. Keep dropping the shoulders, exhale for 5. And inhale for 5. Arms straight and active. Exhale and inhale. Exhale, oblique smile. Broaden across the front of the belly. Inhale, keep the chin into the chest. Exhale for 5. And inhale. Exhale. check back in with the inner core. Exhale as your belt wrapping around. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. One more time. Exhale. And inhale. And bring your knees into your chest. One hand on each knee. Lower the head. Relax your neck. Turn your head very slowly from one side to the other. And then come back into the center. Gently pull the knees in towards the chest. Feel the lower back flatten. Reconnect with your inner core. Press your back ribs down and then pull your pubic bone into the belly button so that you can keep your legs as they are as you float the arms straight up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders. We're going to do the knee circles. Shoulders stay dropped. Back ribs stay in contact with the mat. Keep the knees together and draw a circle. Make sure the back ribs stay down and the shoulders are dropped. No movement in the arms here. And then reverse the circle. So make the circle as big as you can make it, moving below the waist and stabilizing above the waist. Reverse each time you come back into the center. Really emphasize that flattening of the lower back and the release of the shoulders at the same time. Let's do one more complete circle. And then the hands return to the knees and gently pull them in again. And we're going to keep the right knee bent to the chest. Straighten the left leg out onto the floor. Pull the right knee to the breastbone. Place the left hand on the front of the left thigh. Use your right hand to pull your right knee to your right armpit. Keep your pelvis even. Don't let the hips roll to the right. Just pull the leg over to the right. So you're stretching your inner right thigh. You may also feel some length across the front of the left thigh. And then switch hands. Keep the pelvis even and pull your knee up towards your left shoulder. Use your left hand, pull up and over. Keep the right hip down, the right shoulder relaxed, the right back ribs down. Not a spinal twist, stretching the outer hip capsule here. And then bring the leg back into the center. Feel your neutral spine, your tailbone down on the mat, sink it down. Engage the inner core, reach the ribs down in a diagonal, imprint them and straighten the right leg up to the ceiling. Really straighten it as much as you can. Pull your knee towards your hip socket, try pointing your toes up. Bring your hands so that your thumbs are on your ribs and your fingers are on your hip points. Let's do 8 circles of the leg, keeping the pelvis really still and the ribs very well anchored. So the points under the fingers and the points under the thumbs are remaining still. Now we're going to keep the right leg straight. Reach up on it with your left hand. We're going to a spinal twist now. Pull the straight leg over to the left side. Reach your right arm out where it's comfortable. Hold your left leg wherever you can and keep the leg as straight as possible. You can turn your head to the right and then relax into the twist. And then roll to the back and bring both knees into your chest. Lengthen the lower back and the back of the neck. And then straighten the right leg out onto the floor. With both hands, pull your left knee towards your breastbone. Then the right hand comes to the front of the right thigh, and you'll pull your left knee up to the left armpit. Keep the pelvis level. Stretch the left inner thigh, the front right thigh. Then switch hands. Continue to keep the pelvis level. Pull your left knee towards your right shoulder. Keep the left hip down, the left ribs down. And then sink your tailbone down really well in the center. Find your neutral lower back. Extend the leg up. Use your inner core, your knitting and imprinting. Pull the left knee to the hip socket. Thumbs on the ribs. Fingers on the pelvis. 8 leg circles. Pelvis completely still. So if you feel it wobbling, slow the circles down. Make them smaller. See if you can also make them circular. When you're done with 8 in each direction, you're going to keep your legs straight and go into the spinal twist. Hand on the leg wherever you can touch it, and pull over into the twist. Relax the left shoulder. Turn the face to the left if that feels good for your neck. And then come onto the back. Bring both knees into the chest. Lengthen the back of the neck. And we'll return to our neutral tabletop position. Relax the arms. Engage the inner core. Knit and imprint the ribs. Lower the left foot down. And lower the right foot down. Steady pelvis. Relax into the constructive rest pose. Now we're going to do the neck series. Start by lengthening the back of the neck. Pull your chin down into the notch of the neck. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And gently press the back of the head down into the mat. And keep the chin tucked as you unweight the head. Lifting just a tiny bit off the mat and then lower and press back down. Maybe a millimeter, maybe a couple millimeters, not high. Unweight the head and lower back down. Really want to feel the intrinsic neck muscles working here. Unweight and press. And one more time. Little lift. And lower back down. And sometimes, depending on your neck, you might not even get your head off the floor at all. Honor what's going on in your neck. Relax the shoulders. Then we're going to rotate. Turn and look out over your left shoulder. Feel your left ear aiming towards the mat. And then gently press the left ear down. And lift up from the right ear, just a tiny unweighting of the head. And lower, press down into the left ear. And unweight the head. Tiny, tiny lift up from the right ear. lower and press the left ear. And on weight, lifting up from the right ear. One more time, little press. And unweight. And finish with a press. And turn the head back into the center. Soften the shoulders. And then we turn the face to the right. Aiming your right ear towards the mat. You might not, depending on the rotation, you might not get that far, but just aim in the direction of the right ear going to the mat. And press down. And unweight, little lift. And press. And little lift. Press gently. And try to go straight up from the ear. And press. And lift straight up from the left ear. Press. And then relax that. Turn your head back into the center. Relax in the center. Keep the nose pointing right up towards the ceiling. Feel the point at the back of the head as we do a side bend. Bring your left ear down to your left shoulder. Continue to feel that same point at the back of the head, nose pointing straight up, and gently press into the back of the head. You're in the middle of the back of the head. And unweight like someone's lifting your nose straight to the ceiling. And little press down. And unweight. Make it small. Exhale, little press. And unweight. One more time. Press. Unweight. And then finish with a press. And relax in the center. Feel that point at the back of the head. Side bend to the right. Keeping contact with that same point. And lift the nose straight up. And little press directly into the back of the head. Little lift. And then a gentle press. And little lift. Unweight the head. And lower and press. Last one. And return to the center. Relax the shoulders. Soften the neck. And now tilt the head back so your chin pointing straight up towards the ceiling. And press down gently. And unweight, lifting the head just a little bit. Chin straight up. And lower and press. And little unweight. And lower and press. And little unweight. Lower and press. And last time, little unweighting. Lower and press. Then relax, bring the head back into the central relaxed position, soften everything. We're going to go through the abdominal series. If your neck gets tired, I'd like you to put your head down, and when you first put the head down, do that same little press down. It's also nice if it's hard to hold your head up to have a folded blanket behind you, so when you put your head down, it's a little bit elevated. Return the attention down to the inner core. Knit and imprint. Flip the right foot up off of the mat. Keep imprinting and bring the left foot up as well. Re-engage the ribs to the opposite back pockets. Lift your head. Bring your chin into your chest. Bring both hands to one leg. Extend the other leg. Pause and get your elbows lifted high and wide, your shoulders drop, your chin to your chest, and then switch. As you bend the knee, you're hiding your foot behind the bent knee. Keeping the chin into the chest, keeping the ribs now knitting down towards the back pockets and imprinting. We're really flattening the abdominal wall and towards the spine while we maintain the neutral. Okay, let's give the neck a rest, the belly a rest. Put your head down. Draw the knees in close. Relax the neck and rock very small motion back and forth across the back of the sacrum. Then center the spine and soften the neck. Slowly move the head back and forth. And then settle the head in the center. Reset your neutral tabletop. As we go into the double leg stretch, be very aware that those back ribs stay imprinted and the neutral spine stays in place the whole time. Connect with the inner core, knit and imprint the ribs. Really feel that imprint. Lift your head, chin into the chest. Exhale, reach your arms and your legs away from your center. Keep your neutral spine and inhale, come back around. Exhale, observe the back ribs as you reach out. And inhale, come back around. Keep them imprinted. Exhale, out from the center. And inhale, back in. Neutral lower back. Exhale, away. And inhale, come back in. Keep the chin into the chest. Exhale, reach out. Inhale, come back in. One more time. Exhale, away. Inhale, return. Knees to the chest, head down. Relax the neck and shoulders. Turn the head or rock on the pelvis if you need to. Let everything relax for a moment. The neck's getting tired. Try a little press into the back of the head and then soften that. Reestablish your neutral tabletop. Engage the inner core, knit and imprint. Lift your head, single straight leg. One leg straight up, one leg straight down, and switch. Use your hands on the back of the straight leg. If your neck is getting really tired, you can use your hands behind your head. It's actually a little more challenging abdominally. If you want more challenge in both ways, you can put your hands down at your sides. I like this little stretch that I get from pulling the leg, so feel free to do whatever version of the arms works for you. Keep your neutral spine. Feel the stretch both at the back and the front of the thigh. Keep your elbows lifted and your shoulders dropped. Chin into the chest. If you do put your head down, imprint it for a moment and then relax the neck. And then we're going to bring the knees into the chest and put the head down. Relax. You can rock on the pelvis or turn the head, soften your shoulders. Let your lower back go flat. And we'll bring the hands behind the head. Open the elbows out wide. We're preparing for the double straight leg stretch. So open the elbows out wide. Keep your knees bent and find your neutral lower back. Engage your inner core. Knit and imprint the ribs. It's going to be a little effort to get the back ribs down with the elbows opened out wide like this. Then lift the head and extend both legs straight up. Both legs are straight, tailbone is down on the mat, back ribs imprinted in the legs, lower down a little bit, and come back up. Absolutely certain that the lower back stays neutral. Lower down, make sure your back ribs stay imprinting, and come back up. This is not going all the way down to the floor unless you're really strong. Come back up. Keep it small and accurate rather than letting it turn into a hip flexion exercise. We want it to be an abdominal exercise. Keep those back ribs down. Keep the neutral spine no matter what. Okay, bring the knees into the chest. Press the head down. Relax the neck, shoulders. Stretch the lower back. Reestablish your neutral tabletop. Bring the hands behind the head. We're going to stay here again in the neutral tabletop for a moment. Feel if you don't do anything with your obliques, if your arms are open wide, your ribs are going to be flaring. So let's engage the inner core. Knit and imprint the ribs. Feel those back ribs down. You're still in your neutral spine. We're going to keep that working around the torso the whole time. Raise the head up. Absolutely sure that the pelvis stays still. It's your only stable point. And then go into your bicycles, reaching across, reaching with the armpits so your elbows stay out wide. Pelvis is steady, no deviation from the contact between the tailbone and the floor. If you feel your pelvis rocking, then get rid of the bicycling, just do the upper body. And you can even put your feet down. Okay, bring the knees to the chest, rest your head down. Relax the neck and shoulders, stretch gently in the lower back. Reestablish your neutral tabletop, relax the arms. Engage the inner core, knit and imprint. And we lower the right foot down. Keep the back ribs imprinting, bring the left foot down. Adjust into your constructive rest pose. Keep the arms wide and passive. We're going to do a hinging neutral spine pelvic lift. So if you have something behind your head, take it out for this, please. Take really good note of the lumbar curve. We're going to stabilize it and maintain it through the whole lift. Gather your pelvic floor, wrap your transversus around, reach the ribs to the back pockets and imprint them. There's your neutral spine, and we're moving the whole neutral spine up in one piece. The hinge is the hip joint only, so you can actually feel down where the hip crease is, and as you exhale, stay engaged around the whole core. Lift up and feel that what you're doing is flattening out the front of the hips. You still have your neutral spine. And then to come down, you're just going to sink down into the hip crease. Stay engaged around your whole torso, neutral spine. So there shouldn't be any unwinding at the end. We've got the neutral spine the whole time. Anchor around neutral, press into the feet and raise the whole neutral spine up. And then hinge at the hips to come back down. Maintain your lower back curve. Deepen the hip crease to lower. And you should come right down into the tailbone without any untilting of the pelvis. One last time. Stabilize around neutral. Press into the feet and lift. And then continue to stabilize around the torso and drop the hips down, deepening the hip crease. Then settle into neutral and relax. Right, if you feel like you need to hug the knees, go ahead and do that. When you're ready, we're going to turn over onto the stomach. Starting with the hands underneath the forehead. Legs comfortably separated. Let the body relax down into the floor. Soften as much as you can. Relax the buttocks and the front thighs. You can feel that this is not really a neutral rest position. You've got some engagement in the lower back, but let go as much as you can. Now we're going to keep the hands on the floor, please. Engage the inner core, knit the ribs, and then pull your breastbone forward as you raise your chest and head only up off of the mat. Lift the breastbone and pull it forward away from the belly so your shoulders come down your back and then lower back down. Let everything relax and set it up again. Inner core, knit the ribs down and raise the chest and head only. soften. One more time, inner core, engage around the ribs and raise the chest and head up. And then relax back down. Now have your right hand on the top of your hands. And we're going to keep the right hand attached to the forehead. Anchor, draw the ribs in, and lift the chest, head, and right arm up. And then lower it down and switch your hands. And with your exhale, stabilize, lift the chest, head, and the left arm up. And lower down. Put the right hand on the top again. This time, turn and look at your right elbow. Engage your inner core, lift the chest, head, and arm, the right arm only, looking at the right elbow as you lift, and then lower down. We're going to do that twice more, looking to the right, anchor, and lift. Left hand is sitting down on the floor, and release. One more time, anchor, and lift. You're raising the chest, head, right arm, looking at the right elbow, and lower down. And then we're going to switch. Put the left hand on the top, turn the head and look to the left. Engage the inner core, knit the ribs, and lift the whole upper body, looking over to the left elbow, and lower back down. Twice more. Inner core, ribs, chest, head, and arm up, looking to the left, and lower back down. One more time, anchor and lift. And lower down. Both arms straight forward, forehead on the floor, elbows down on the mat. Relax the legs now and keep them relaxed. Engage the inner core, knit the ribs in, keep your elbows on the mat, raise your chest and head up, draw the shoulders down the back. Keep the buttocks and legs as soft as you can. Draw the breastbone forward. And relax back down. Let everything soften. Reset the inner core. See if you can do that without squeezing the buttocks. Knit the ribs and raise the chest and head. Keep your elbows down. Draw your shoulders down your back. Pull the breastbone forward away from the belly. And release back down. Let everything soften. One more time, inner core first, knit the ribs, raise the chest and head. Be careful you're not tilting your chin. I'm going to keep it down so you're not compressing your neck. Draw the shoulders down the back, relax the buttocks and the legs. And then relax back down. And go into a child's pose. Bring your hips back to your heels. Find the most comfortable position for your neck and shoulders. Then we're going to come up to all fours. Hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. Tuck your toes. We're going to work on the straightest anterior. Engage the inner core. Knit the ribs. Press down like you're trying to push the floor away from you. And then hover your knees up just an inch or two off of the mat. And you're emphasizing what's going on in the shoulders. So really not too high of a lift with the knees. Press the floor away and then lower the knees down and relax. So we're maintaining the neutral spine as we do this. Inner core engaged, ribs knitting and imprinting. Press the floor away. Stay really strong in your abdominal wall and hover the knees up just the tiniest bit. Press the floor away. Feel the work at the sides, just underneath your armpits. And then lower down and relax. One more time. Inner core, knit the ribs. Press the floor away. And hover the knees up. And then bring the knees down. We're going to go back into child's pose again, but I want you to please bring your forearms together, your palms together, And then go to your child's pose. And keep your elbows together. Move your hands as far away from your knees as you can with your elbows touching. They must be touching or you're not going to get the stretch. We're now stretching the muscle that we just used right along the sides. Elbows together. Fingertips on the mat in front of you or hand up on your right waist. Tilt your right hip forward just a little bit. Inhale, prepare for the inner core. Then take an organ lift. Pull your organs up away from the floor towards the ceiling. Relax the neck and shoulders. Raise both legs up. And then 4 times lift and lower the top leg. And 4 times lower and lift the bottom leg. Squeezing your thighs together. 4 times scissor the legs forward and back. Pelvis and ribs should be steady the whole time. Come back into the center. 4 circles of the top leg in each direction. Again, pelvis and ribs stay steady in relationship to each other. Squeeze the inner thighs. Flex the feet back. Squeeze the toes. Point the toes, fan the toes, flex back. Squeeze, point, fan, flex. Squeeze, point, fan, flex. And then relax both legs down. We're going to come to a 45-degree hip flexion, so just the middle comfortable position. Just checking the time. Bring the right hip forward. Relax the muscles around the waist. Engage your inner core only. So we've been working the obliques a lot. Now they're going to stay passive. Just your pelvic floor and your belt. And then 8 times lift and lower this top leg. Rolling it out in the socket, keeping the right hip forward. When you're done with those 8, relax. We'll work with the rotator cuff a little bit. Bring your right elbow to your right waist. Make a gentle fist. If you have a 1-pound weight, you can use that. Keep the elbow on the waist and raise the hand towards the ceiling and bring it back down. It can go down a little bit below level, but not too much. We're mainly trying to externally rotate. And then come down slowly with control. We're going to do this 8 times as well. Keep the elbow attached to the side and slow and smooth on the descent, rolling out in the shoulder. When you're done, we're going to turn over to the other side. Stretch out long on the right side. Make sure your neck and shoulders are comfortable. You can put a support between your arm and your ear. Feet a little forward of the hips. Tilt the left hip forward, fingertips on the floor in front of you, or top hand on the top waist. Engage your inner core. Take an organ lift. Lift your organs up off of the mat, then raise the legs up. Stabilize here. 4 times lift and lower the top leg. 4 times lower and lift the bottom leg. 4 scissors, each leg. Keep the pelvis and the ribs really stable in relationship to each other. And then 4 circles, top leg each direction. Check in with your organ lift. Squeeze the inner thighs and work the feet. Flex, squeeze the toes, point the feet, fan the toes and flex back. Squeeze, point, fan, flex, squeeze, point, fan, Flex, reverse, reach out, squeeze the toes and pull back. Open the toes, stretch out, squeeze and come back. One more time. And release both legs down. Bend the knees to a comfortable angle, 45-degree hip flexion. Make sure that your left hip is forward. Relax around the belly, around the waist. Engage around the pelvis. Find the inner core. And 8 repetitions, lifting and lowering the left knee. You're rolling your thigh out in the socket. Keep the sense of stability in the pelvis and the rolling of the thigh in the socket. When you're done with those 8, left elbow on the left waist, gentle fist. 8 times external rotation. Keep the left elbow right at the waist the whole time. Move smoothly. And when you're done with those, turn onto your back. Lie in constructive rest. Gently support around the pelvis, the lower back. Raise the right foot up and cross the right ankle to the left knee, preparing for the piriformis stretch. Feel the balance at the back of the pelvis. Be sure you don't rock to the right. Keep the tailbone right down in the center. Engage the inner core. Lift the left foot up and bring your hands behind your left thigh. Keep your neutral pelvis. We're going to stretch the left hamstring first. Stretch the left foot to the ceiling and bend it back down. Keep the tailbone equally on the mat the whole time. Neutral lumbar curve. Stretch up and back down. And lengthen up and back down. One more time. Stretch up. And bend the knee, and then go into the piriformis stretch. Still stay centered on the back of the pelvis. If you like, you can flatten the back. And release that. Come back down into neutral. Restabilize around your neutral. Lift the left ankle up to the right knee. Use your core as you lift the right foot up and then support the back of the right leg. Neutral spine, your tailbone is down. And stretch off with the right leg. And bend the knee. Stretching the right hamstring. Keep your tailbone down and your neutral spine in place, even at the back of the pelvis. Stretch up and bend. One more time. And then relax the right leg. Flatten the lower back if you like, and concentrate on the stretch of the left hip. Again, we want to make sure that we're centered, not rolling over to the side. So feel the sacrum, even if you're in your flat back, even on both sides. Then release that. Place your feet down. Relax your arms. Engage your inner core. Knit and imprint the ribs. Tilt the pelvis. Feel your belly scooping in. And then raise your hips one vertebra at a time. Coming up through the spine. Imprint and come back down. Tilt the pelvis and come to a flat back and maintain the flat back. keep your flat back. Continue to flatten, straighten the other leg out. Imprint and flatten, reach your arms up and back. I'm going to do a roll up. Find your whole spine reaching down to the mat. Scoop the belly in, float the arms, and roll up. Sit easy in the shoulders. Hang down, relax, gentle in the neck and shoulders. Now if you had to use your hands to get yourself up, you're just going to come part way down and hover. Scoop the belly. Or if your feet came off of the floor, in other words, if the roll-up is challenging for you, I want you to just come part way back and stay there. If you want to go the whole way down, roll through the spine, only if you can keep your feet down. Reach back, reflatten, and roll back up. And if you are hovering, you can then release into the forward bend. Relax. Let the shoulders relax, the arms be bent. Same thing again. Scoop. Come part way back. Just hover if you can't do the roll up smoothly. Or if you want to just work in one position, even if you can do the roll up, you can find a place where you want to work and stay and hover there. Or release all the way down, scooping the belly in. Going to come up one more time. Make sure that you flatten, imprint, scoop the belly. Keep the shoulders easy in any case. And come up and over. One final stretch forward. And then sit up. Bend the knees. Gentle forward bend. Really relax the work in the back. Shoulders easy. And lift the chest up off of the thighs. Open the chest. And that'll do it. Thanks for being here. Have a great morning, everybody. I'm going to take about a 5-minute break and then come back and do the next series so I can have it separately recorded. So if you want to do that next series again, I'll be live in about 5 minutes. Okay. Have a great week. See you maybe Wednesday. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.